live. It's Friday. Yes, it is. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys that are waiting for the show to start tonight. And it's Friday, and I have so much to talk about, but we got to wait until Tuesday. SEMA, man, Kicker's got some stuff coming down the pipework. But tonight it's Friday. Q&A, Ask Me Anything. And you know what? Maybe we don't have to talk about car audio, but for some reason it always leads into car audio because that's just life. And Larry, what are you doing here, man? You know, God, it's. See you guys in 3 minutes. The Pacific Southwest Asia. Yeah. Okay. I think so too, Kibo.
So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud.
Livin Loud with Andy.
The chat family is real. It is real. I can't miss a show, or I feel like I just let you guys down, and it's Friday, and you know what that means. So, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Let me know what you guys are working on. I know Cedric is working on a few things, and we'll brush up on that. But thank you guys for hanging out with me, and just appreciate all your dedication. And, I've been trying to just get on videos because, doing the live streams, it's a lot. And to do videos on the side, we're getting it done one step at a time. But I did just release a kicker amplifier dyno video of the CXA 800.1 full dyno, my idea on it, and just looking at it, and it's fun with the SPL lab. It's a different spin than the 81. Even though we love Big D, Williston Audio Labs Dyno, it is awesome stuff that he's been doing over the years. And anybody else that does Amp Dyno videos, you just can't get enough of them sometimes. Appreciate you. Play it live, man. I love it. Thank you, buddy. Sorry, we got the auto still going. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? I thought John was in the back of the studio taking control. Maybe he is. I don't know. William. Hey. Livin Loud with Andy. Late Friday night for the win. You're a rock star. Keep doing what you do. And thank you for keep on tuning in like you do, man. And absolutely, one step at a time, not letting off the gas. And thank you for your kind words as always. And that NGA wireless bass knob, man, I can't wait to more people can get that in their hands just because you're very smart and you made an awesome product. And I can't wait to see the future of that, man. Thank you for being here as always, sir. Let's see. Okay, cool. Okay, so that got behind there. A little bit behind. We got Shoop Dog. What is up, Shoop Dog? Thank you, man. Appreciate you tuning in. And, man, thank you for sending me your video of your comp Rs. And we're going to do that on Friday, of course, as always. Just showing off the builds that people want to be featured. And we're going to do the ones that we got this week so far. If you ever want your build to be featured on a Friday, it's the first link in the description. Upload on livinloudwithandy.com. And absolutely. And actually behind me here, we got Steve Mullen's Kicker System Build of the Week on Kicker Club. If you're not a member of Kicker Club, what are you doing here? Awesome group on Facebook. And we are on the road to 70,000. It's kind of crazy. Thank you for tuning in, T. Corley. What is up from Arkansas? Man, you know, it's insane where just everybody is at. It's all over the country. I know SEMA's out in Vegas, and it's just on the other side of the world, it seems like. But we even got people in the Southeast Asia, something like that, West, I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. It's everywhere. But the love of bass, man, let me tell you. Thank you, T. Corley. Appreciate you, CAE. It's me. Thank you for tuning in, DJ Hertz. Oh, DJ Hertz is me. Oh, okay. So he's talking to himself. That's okay. That's all right. Uncle Bobby B, baby.
Uncle Bobby B, baby. Uncle Bobby B.
Thank you for hanging out as always, Uncle Bobby B. I appreciate you, sir. And Garrick, what is happening, Green Team? The Green Team. But I got something here. Garrick, actually, it's already on his profile picture. Would you look at that? He just picked up the LLC Green Team Livin Loud Andy t-shirt, and man, he is rocking that hard. Appreciate you for the support, and thank you for being here, man, and thank you for being part of the Green Team. I know you've been looking forward to this Friday, and I know a lot of you guys are too. And if you want to talk about car audio topics, bring them up tonight. Tonight is an open mic more than ever, because it's like I don't have anything to talk about until Tuesday. We gotta watch the Unmasked show for them to talk about all the products that they released on SEMA. I gotta keep my lips sealed. We gotta wait till Tuesday. I'm like, I want to talk about it all because there's so much stuff. But it's gonna make you guys tune into the Unmasked show, and of course, we'll touch base on it on the after show, of course. And thank you for being here, Garrick. Sean says, I'm working on getting a couple Savard Wrap 8s in my birch ported enclosure. And, you know, I heard good things about Savard. I know that Big D did a video on their subwoofer and enclosure. And I think I know another guy that was doing something for him. Pretty cool subs. And, man, you know, it's always fun to do something new. Appreciate you, CAE, for gifting 5 memberships to the Green Team. Hard. Yeah, turn down for what? Straight bass. Yeah. Thank you, CAE. Appreciate all you guys donating tonight and just gifting to the Green Team members. For the people that tune into the live streams, I think it's more beneficial. But the Green Team guys did get a little bit early access of the CXA amplifier dyno. It's just, I got to get it out there as soon as I get it done and polish it. And just like the live streams, man, it's like you got to make it look cool. And thank you, CAE. Appreciate you, man. And keep doing what you're doing too, man. Is this Livin Loud with Andy or Wolverine? Sweet beard. Thank you, man. No shave November. Well, I'll grow it out November kind of deal thing. But always trying something new. You know, just tired of looking like I'm 22. Thank you for being here, William. Wade Hensley. Appreciate you, man. And I'm glad that you hung out with us on the after party. Every Friday night we do that, and we just kick back, relax. It's, nothing going on really, but we just talk about stuff like we do, like we're around a fire, and it's fun. And we talk about car audio, and usually Jake's racing something. But thanks for hanging out then, and thank you for tuning in tonight, and appreciate all your hard work on Kicker Club. Man, I've been slacking, but every time I go in there, almost every single request is taken care of, and we get a lot of membership requests on Kicker Club, man. It is literally insane. So thank you for all that you do, man. Bobby B. Travis, thank you for tuning in again, man. Is a tiny bit of clipping when max volume bad? I mean, a tiny flash here and there. And that's the thing, man. The more that I mess with the SPL lab that shows me real-time THD, not every single thing is going to show you that. And sometimes with a clip limiter or a clip indicator, it kind of might flash on you. You don't know how much you're clipping and if it's really dead on. And then I feel like sometimes, even if you have it perfectly set clean, certain tracks you might see that spike, your voltage starts to drop so that your amplifier starts to clip a little bit earlier. So there's always that variable. And honestly, at the end of the day, it's just how much heat can your woofer handle. And whenever you clip, you're going to be sending, in a sense, more heat, but not really. It's just that the woofer, it depends how far you're clipping. Now, if you're hard clipping, that woofer is just hesitating there. So soft clipping isn't terrible, but again, it's still hitting that ceiling, and it's not making that perfect up-down motion. It's kind of hanging on the top and hanging on the bottom, meaning that it's not really, in a sense, moving. But we're talking like 1/1,000,000th of a second not moving because frequencies are so fast. Obviously, you see this guy over here boogieing. That's 12 hertz, but it still looks very fast, And that's 12 times a second, and that's very slow. So to kind of answer your question there, no, it's not bad. And 90% of the systems out there are clipping just a little bit, and it's not going to be the end of the game as long as you play it within reason. That's really the hardest thing to grasp, and that's why you see so much failure with woofers blowing, is because it's hard to find what the woofer can handle when you're first getting into it, or even it's a new system and you're like, woo, yeah, I went too hard on that, because the woofer will keep getting louder. It's just because you're clipping. You're still sending power into it in a way, and it's just going to keep getting louder even though you're clipping. Thank you, Travis. Appreciate you, man. And these are the questions that I love, and appreciate you tuning in, man. Niplash, thanks for hanging out with us. Andy, Bo, Bandy, thank you for tuning in. Dev, appreciate you, man. Appreciate all you guys hanging out with me on this Friday evening. And let me know what you guys are up to. CAE, my friend from another mother. I messed that one up. And yes, please smash the like. We only got 16 likes on YouTube. 28 of you guys are watching. Smash the like. And, we got something there. I seen something yellow from El Fuego from the Pacific Northwest. Thank you, buddy. Would you look at that? And it's Friday. Thank you so much, man. I love hearing that track. It's the best song in the world. Well, next to Put On and On My Level and a few others, El Fuego, special thanks to the Livin Loud with Andy fans that have given me fantastic support through my recent surgery. Bobby B, Cornut, Baba, and everyone else. I love this community, and I love you too, man. And these guys really are awesome. For the ones that are just kind of like just looking at it, being a little nebby, tuning in the live streams, the community is with open arms. It really is. And these guys are awesome. It's like a family you never knew you needed or wanted, but now you have it. And they are awesome guys. Thank you, El Fuego. Appreciate you, man. And just all your support over the years. And for every other car audio channel, I seen El Fuego was a YouTube membership on CAE's channel, and I'm like, I gotta do it. If El Fuego's on there, I'm joining too, man. So check out CAE's. He's got a join membership thing as well, green team, if you will, and just the community, man. It's all it's about. Thank you, El Fuego. And speaking of the LLWA fans, I am going to be on a podcast Tuesday and it's not Kicker. It's kind of crazy. And it works out perfect for my schedule just because I don't have to work. I'm usually doing a live stream, right? So we got Kicker on Mass at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, and then you got me at 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central for the Unmasked After Show. But before that, at 6:30 Eastern or 5:30 Central, I'm going to be on the DJ Dirty Bass's new podcast. I think it's like their 6th episode. And they want me on there, man. And it's going to be awesome. I will actually drop a link here to his YouTube channel so that whenever we go live, you guys can hang out with us there. And I'm going to see what kind of live streaming platform that he has. Oh, I'm going to have to do it over here, aren't I? I'm going to see what kind of live stream platform he has. If I can literally do both at the same time and shoot it out that way on this channel, I absolutely will. Oh, who's that cornflake guy? Donated $4. I just opened up the JP 40 bucks. Love the packing material. Hey, had to, man. You know, and just a little something a little special for you, man. And I know you needed a web camera. It's not the best one, but I'm like, listen, this is it. There you go, Cornut. Just try it. It worked out for me, and a little something else in there for you. Thank you so much for sending that battery so I could do the JP40 dyno. And sorry about taking forever to get back to you, man, but thank you. Thank you. He's always donating on the PayPal section, which is in the little thing right there. Let me pull this down. There we go. If you screenshot, where would it be over here? Yeah. If you screenshot that, you can actually super chat, and YouTube doesn't take any of the money. That's how Cornut really gets the caboose every time, it seems. It's like less delay. I don't know, but that's half the ticket, man. It is half the ticket. Now he's like, oh, why'd you tell everybody? Why'd you tell everybody? I want the caboose. I am the caboose. Kibo, thank you for tuning in, man. I've been Green Team for a little over a year, and it only cost me $12. It's the dollar menu that doesn't exist anymore, but on this channel it does, and you know, it's just a little kickback, and I appreciate it from you guys, man. That's just solid income, $100. It keeps these lights on in the studio, and it doesn't cost too much to keep everything going, but if it's self-sufficient, it makes sense for the long run. Because I know if I was watching this car audio YouTube channel, I wouldn't want them then. Just like Kicker on Mass, it's like always like, man, are they like, when's gonna be the day that it just ends? And I'm gonna dread that day, or is it never gonna end? I don't know. And to keep that going, that's what you guys are doing. So thank you so much, Kibo. Appreciate you, man. And thanks for always being here, even before the 12 months, man. Kibo. Real Cisco Montano. I love that name. It just rolls right off the tongue. In Montana, you know what I mean? J5 loves it. Would you rather use an AGM? I mean, you know, when I first got into car audio, upgrading my battery, I was dumb and I put in a lead acid into my car, and it worked, but, you know, and then put an AGM in there, I felt a lot safer, non-spillable, and just, you know, it seemed like it was more for car audio, which it is. You know, in most cases. And now with me knowing what lithium can do and having a fair understanding of how lithium works and the safety precautions, if any, are needed, because any battery needs some safety precautions, it just doesn't make sense to me anymore. Unless it's something like a backup power system, and then it kind of does make sense. It's just a lot easier to do that, a lot less time, and for the price, you know. If you're ever doing your own stuff, it's going to be cheaper than buying a Titan 8 or any other kind of JY or JP battery. It's going to be cheaper because you're doing it yourself, and it's time and labor and know-how. But with AGMs, there are no DIY AGMs, you know, so it's just the price is, it definitely makes sense in a lot of cases, and it does seem a lot easier to just blend with anybody's system. But that's my opinion on it. I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions on batteries, but, you know, either way, I think it does do the job. You know, if you want your amplifier to stay on, it's going to keep it on rather than not having an extra battery back there, man. Thank you for tuning in, and BT with a $5 membership gift.
Well, would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You got to look at it this way, okay? You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
You know, he does have a point, man, and you just got to look at it. You just got to look at it. We were looking at the sheets last night, and we were like, Oh, would you look at that? It's just so dirty. Thank you so much, BT. Appreciate you. And thank you for keeping the kicker kicking. And thank you for all that you do, man. And, you know, just straight up basehead. Kicker down past the blood. He's got tattooed. I think that's more than blood, man. Thank you, BT. Appreciate you, sir. Okay, so that was the Samsung 10, Travis. Okay, gotcha. So I got you on YouTube. Let me know if you didn't see that portion. I will graze upon that again. Would you rather use an AGM DS 1865 amp hour or dual purpose? You know, whenever it comes to like batteries and AGMs, and if it's for starting or if it's for reserve, you know, that kind of comes down to literally what it's made for, but the cells that are inside, where it's, you know, it might have a higher discharge rate with less capacity, and that's any battery of the same chemistry, same makeup. If it has more discharge capability, it might have should have a lower resistance internal value and less capacity. So with the dual purpose, I don't know exactly what that, you know, is kind of saying. That's almost like a selling, not a tactic, but just a selling feature. Maybe the dual purpose is more for, oh, it'll start and it's good for reserve. It's kind of giving you the best of both worlds. The DS1865 amp hour, I'm going to assume that's something that would go underneath the hood of the car, or it could. It's not a huge battery. It's not like 110 amp hour AGM. So it's probably around a group 34 size. And it's going to do a lot more than not having a battery in the back of the car. That is the most beneficial thing you can have. I don't care what kind of battery you got in the back, as long as you got something back there that's going to be a short distance where your amplifier is demanding power, and it doesn't have to go 20 feet to get it. That's the biggest difference. And then it's just how long that battery has the amount of discharge capability and capacity, and how much your alternator can keep filling up that bucket. Thank you so much, Real Cisco Montano. All car audio all the time. No politics here. You know, I feel like, you know, it's whenever you get into politics, it gets kind of, you know, it's politically, I don't know, incorrect no matter what you say. And, you know, it's just people come here for car audio and I shut off everything else. And then it's like, okay, if you got me off camera or on Discord, it's like, all right, you're coming here, so what you're going to get. Sorry. Still keep it PG 17, but you get what I'm saying. You guys come here for kicker, you come here for car audio, you come here for just hanging out with your friends, and that's how we keep it, man. New subs, 8-inch L7X? What? I don't know what you're talking about. Play it, live it. Stu, did you get a new tag, or has it just been that long? Where is Stu at? I do not see Stu. Let's see. Thank you for tuning in, man. And I was going to give you a message today, and I was trying to get the CX amplifier amp dyno done. I've been editing that, recording that, past 2 days, just finishing it up. And then just, you know, running errands, doing stuff we do. Would you like to come on next Tuesday? Not this Tuesday, next Tuesday on Kicking It With Andy. You know, this guy knows so much about the SPL lab. I look like a noob, okay? And we can do some things. I don't know, man. It's all up to him. And, man, just comparing different testing equipment, amp dynos, just anything. Maybe if you just got questions about the SPL lab, all the different ones that they got, because they do have wireless ones, real tiny ones. And I know you see it all the time in Parker's videos, man. They do the job. Let's see. And thank you for donating. Oh, I thank you, Livin Loud with Andy. Appreciate you. I need to rebase turn down for what? You just got to turn up the gain louder. No, but for real. I do believe DJ Rusticles has that, and it's just like lowered a little bit on the octave scale. You know, it usually gives you like 3 or so, but still, you know, the one itself isn't too bad, but I think it's 44 hertz. So yeah, you probably want something in the 30s below 40 hertz. Dual purpose with lithium, 60 amp hour. Okay, or DS1865 amp hour AGM. Both connected to an ultra cap for help 1.5, 1.8 to 2000 watt system. Okay, dual purpose lithium with 60 amp hours. Okay, so this dual purpose lithium question. Is it one that's in a, it's not a DIY, it's in a case, and it probably might have a BMS, not the balancer, the BMS, the battery monitoring system, more for, I guess, solar applications, low discharge stuff. Because whenever you do the car audio lithium batteries, they don't have that. And that is nice. It's like having a huge fuse, but like a circuit breaker fuse in a way. That's the only thing I'm worried about when I see that dual purpose lithium. I just don't know what that is. And if it's between that or a 65 AGM, I would just go with the AGM, just because you might be limited usually with those type of batteries at like something around 10C, not even. I don't even think it might be like 1 or 2C, and it might have like 120 amp BMS on there. And that can work, but if you pull anything over that, that battery will just shut off. And then your amplifier sees 0 volts, and that's never a good thing. Let me know exactly which one that is. If you can just give me the brand. We're getting closer. We are getting closer. Thank you, Real Cisco. Uncle Bobby B. Do you still get carded? Carded. Man. I haven't bought my Jack Daniels in a while. Now I'm still sipping on the moonshine here that Mr. T-Dog got me. But yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm CAE's alter ego. I make the bass. Okay, so I'm really far behind here. Thank you, Mike Annusation. And you know what I mean? I try my best, and I feel like if anything, I can kind of summarize things really good. I might not know what the heck I'm talking about half the time, but I try to get close, and then that's why we bring in Blake, and he's like, well, actually, the hypotenuse, just science words. And thank you, man. I appreciate you, Mike. Wait, what? Where's he at? Explode. Oh, would you look at that? Wait, we have look at it emojis? What? Would you look at that? Thank you, Wade. That's why it's so very important to learn your system like a relationship. You'll get to know it better over time. What songs you can break the knob off and on, and what songs you gotta back it off. And that's the absolute truth. It's like just learning your system, learning what not to say to your wife to make her upset, and maybe you should take the trash out, after you play it pretty hard. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you gotta go with the cool down method. And if you're just dumping a ton of power, you know that you got way too much power on that thing. Slamology, for example. It's hard because it's like, I'm giving demos harder than I would give myself a demo for that amount of period. And then the next person wants to get in. And I'm like, oh my God. All right, we're good. It's just, it had no problem at Slamology, Cookie Monster. But it's like, that is a Steve Irby signature cone, original coil. I don't want to mess it up. And it's like, if it gets any bit warm, I'm like, oh God, turn it down. I can't wait for the L7X18 to come out. It's going to be the biggest relief. In some ways, we had some other times, and I can't wait. Let me just tell you, man. But that's the thing. You got to find the give and take with it. Thank you, Wade. Appreciate you again for tuning in, man. And awesome friend of mine, man. Hello, Mom. Watching Fire, Country, and Blue Bloods. Sending hugs. Love you, Mom. Here's a hug. And, man, miss you. And thanks for tuning in. Tell everyone I said hello. Netflixing. Are there smarter amps that can give you the option to detect and limit clipping? It's 2024. That's a very solid question. And, there are amplifiers out there that have, built-in clip limiters. And even the Kicker 200.4, the key amplifier that I have on my motorcycle, I was using as like a DSP kind of like, I don't know, kind of thing for my Pilot at one point. But, it has that, and sometimes it might pull away from the dynamics of the music because you're railing it as loud as you can, and then you lose the dynamic sound, but then you'll never clip, right? So you never technically will hurt your speaker in the perfect world, but you still might. And they're nice. They come in handy. You think it would be more readily available, but I feel like because of that statement of just where you're just kind of giving yourself no headroom, because of that, it's not really worth it. But you would think that they could have something like that where you would have it in a DSP, but then you would have to have something on the output section built into the amplifier. You know, it's a lot of work, man. It really is. And I would think so too, you know, because it's like I would rather sacrifice a little bit of the dynamic stuff to get that. Now, with the KXA amplifier, that kind of happens. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because I'm wired so low. Like I got mine at half ohm, but like it just pulls back. And then soon as like that note that was like too low on how box rise works, okay? I said it. And it starts to pull back the power there. And then soon as it doesn't see it anymore, it's like, well, here you go. You want 30 hertz? We're still above 1 ohm. Here you go. Full tilt boogie. And it has like that pull down effect. There's DSP programming chips into those amplifiers. And that's why I can't wait for them to come with that back, you know, for the ones that know. But awesome stuff. So it's kind of not like that in there with just clipping, but in other factors. And to me, it kind of makes me mad. I'm like, I want to throw the Warhorse back on here, the WXA 3600.1, because it didn't do that. And I had it at half ohm too. And that was a little bit different being in competition mode and just how they have that set so you can run it at a higher voltage and you can run it a little bit more, get a little bit more power out of it in competition mode in a way. And that factor just disappears. So I don't know if it's just that, because it's literally the same box, same woofer, more power applied, but you would think it'd be even worse then. But the KX8 has some of those features, and it drives me nuts because I'm playing it in certain songs. It's like boom, 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 boom. And then when that happens and I have it turned up all the way, that boom, 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 boom turns to oh, and then the 30 hertz flat note. And it's like, ah, you know, I got to keep it down here. So I feel like that's why less people put those in their amplifiers, because it definitely could, I could see it, hurt the sound. Thank you, Choke Change. Appreciate you for tuning in. I hope you're doing well, man. That was a good question. Haven't been in any of the Discords in like a week. Same here, Kibo. It's okay. We're slacking. We got Bassatronics. Thank you for tuning in. The subwoofer with open arms and ohms. That's it. Thanks for tuning in, man. I hope you're doing well, and thanks for just, you know, all that you do in the background, man. I see you, and it was a blast having you on. We'll have to have you on again, you know. That's the thing. It's like now I'm like a little bit more set up to have people on. And like with Kicking with Andy and Car Audio, it's really hard to do so much. That's why you see Kicker Unmasked. They start to bring on guests because Car Audio, it's only so big, and you don't want to keep talking about the same thing. You gotta give it like 5 months, and then you can start talking about it again, start looking at it. But thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate you, man. And Green Team, we gotta throw it up. We gotta throw it up.
Green Team.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Would you look at that? Better late than never with a $5 super chat. Is that Mr. SDK Enclosures?
Well, would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You got to look at it this way, okay? You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
Better late than never. Sick, but I limped over to the PC to watch if anyone has messaged me. I've decided to reply when I feel better. There's like 70 DMs. Well, I hope you feel better, Jake. And thank you for getting the kicker going. And man, this guy's working hard and racing hard too, but he's mostly working hard on those enclosures. Appreciate you for your support and just tuning in tonight. And I hope you feel better, man. You know, I know we're going to miss you on the Discord after party. We're going to miss you. He's like, well, I'm not too sick for that. Thanks for hanging out, man. And thank you so much for the $5 super chat, making us look at it. And we got 40 people in here tonight. You guys rock. And okay, cool. So that is, okay, that's coming up there. I don't know why that's not playing there, but I like to see that there. Okay, cool. We got 40 people on YouTube, 22 likes. Smash the like, you know what I mean? Like Dave says, you know? Oh man, where's it at? Where's it at? There's too many names.
Just hit the like.
Just hit the like. Just hit the like, and yes, please do. It helps the YouTube algorithm. You know the thing. Cornet, Dubby. A lot of people busy too. Gibbs, Jester, Bubba. I haven't seen Jester in a while. It's all right though. Yeah, it's nice to, look outside once in a while. Feel you on that, man. I get cooped up in this studio all the time. It is such a blessing, but it's work, man. Just like anything. Thank you for tuning in, Jimmy Con. What is the LX series? Oh, man. Ernie? I don't know what you're talking about. I never heard it. I never seen it. I didn't see any other pictures of amplifiers at SEMA that would have that name or have any other kind of features similar to the KX. I don't know exactly, but I feel like maybe that could be it. But, I just don't know. Tuesday, make sure you tune in to Kicker Unmasked. I know there's so much out there, and I was like, am I allowed? No, okay, we'll wait. Tuesday, Kicker Unmasked. Make sure you tune in. I'm telling you. And there's something really big that a lot of I seen like one person post about it, but it's like in the inner circle, and it just didn't come out. And I'm like, this is gonna make people go insane. Because I've been saying this for a long time about needing this from Kicker with something else they have that's new out. And I'm excited because it makes it easier and it's a no-brainer. And I knew that they were working on it because I got to see it 2 years ago. And I got a video of that, and I can't share it until Tuesday, but I got a video behind the scenes of this stuff, and there's so many other things that they have coming out. So if you were at SEMA, if you happen to stumble across Kicker Club, go take a look at it. Go take a look. Scott, driving to work and listening. Hello from all the traffic. Thank you for tuning in, Scott. Appreciate you. I guess that's double E. Is that double E? I don't know if that's double E. Maybe it is. It's got to be double E. Thank you for tuning in, double E. Roses are red, green is grass. Grass is green. Man, I'm losing it. Kicker is loud. Oh, I like it. I love it. Oh, man, I'd almost swear for that one. Thank you so much, Bastronics. Cornut is here. He is sitting there in the bushes. He is in the bushes, just sitting there waiting. Thank you for tuning in, Kanga. Appreciate you, man. And, man, your buddy with that, what was it, the car audio? Not car audio. It's like home audio bass heads. I forget what it's called. I should have bass head family or something like that. He's got that 150, 160 dB system. And I know you're friends with him here on YouTube and Facebook. That's kind of crazy, man, to have something that loud in your home audio system. My camera doesn't like the QR code with the bottom slightly cut off, though. It struggles and takes a while. Okay, so we got to adjust that, do we? We got to adjust it. We got to adjust it. Andy, I love the make audio great again. We could go with that. I can't. Man, I am so far behind. All right, Travis Will, thanks for being patient here. So I got L712s. Would you throw the full 750 RMS at them? I have a 3,000 watt amp on 4, but scared to throw the heat to them. I feel like if you match it with just the 750 RMS onto it, but the 212s, 3,000 watt amp, that's 3,000 RMS on 150, 1,500 RMS. That's going to be a big jump between the two on that. So you can do it, but you have to be careful when you have that much power. Not even just for the thermal limit, but mechanical failure by playing, just past what the speaker can move. Like how this one's going full tilt boogie and just keep putting more and more onto it. They are really good at not, quote, bottoming out. The L7s do this weird thing. It's like it hits the bottom of the spider landing or something like that, instead of the coil actually hitting the bottom of the motor. So that's nice, but you still hear this terrible, terrible sound. And it's just you're overdoing it. Trust me, I put 2,000 clamp to each one of them before in a little sealed box for SPL, and I opened the door by accident. And they make a god-awful noise. So you got to worry about that. And then the power, you know, like I said earlier, it just keeps getting louder. So if it just keeps getting louder, you might not notice any problem until you start to smell something. And I notice with kickers as well, I don't know if every sub's like this because I mostly run kicker. Like every single build I have is kicker. If it's not kicker, I kind of don't mess with it. I play around with it, but I don't put it in my car. It's not a daily. It's not the system of that car. And they make this smell. Like you get that first smell and it's like, okay, wow, I was playing a little bit too loud. And then you turn it down even more. And then the smell really starts to come. And it's crazy of just how that happens with the gases and how they get released. So at that point, you've already done a lot of damage. It's like doing burnouts with your car. Over and over, you're going to run out of tread. You're going to run out of resin. The coil's going to slide right off the former, like where the coil holds on the speaker. And next thing you know, it's either sliding off or it's breaking from just too much power too fast. And a lot of different things that could go. So either way, I would just be careful. I always would say too much power is never enough, but at the same time, you have to know how to play that. So if you do that, you can use the kicker chart and to dial that amp down so that you're not really ever pushing it past that 1500 RMS. And then you can do the power chart, or you can do, I think it's what? The power that you want divided by the resistance squared or something like that. I forget the exact formula. And it'll tell you the volts AC that you need to set your multimeter to when you're setting your amp with a test tone, -5 or 0 dB full scale, depending how you're tuning it with the DD1 or whatever you're using, alongside with the multimeter and set to volt amp. So then you can set it to like, well, let's just say it's we'll say 2 ohm and you want 1500 watts. So what would that be like? Let me think. 1500 watts, 50 no, 2, that'd be 1 ohm. So I don't know, let me think. 40 20 would be 800. Yeah, 40 20, I think that's what it would be. Yeah, 800. So then maybe 50 25, 60 30, something like that. So 60, yeah, around 60 or 55 volt amps, and then that would be a 1500 watts, a 2 ohm, to set the gain at volt RMS squared, or however you explain it. That's how I would do it, so that you don't blow them up real fast. Because it can happen, man. It can. You're kind of just, you know, you have all the amplifier, you're never going to clip, and you're going to give them the power that they need. You can turn it up a little bit, but be careful. And we got a super chat from El Fuego. Search party to find Baba. $2 super chat. Thanks for the pennies, Baba. Or Baba. Well, Baba. Where is Baba?
I got pennies.
We need Baba, man. We need him to go boom. Where is Baba? Baba! Baba, where are you? Where are you, Baba? Can you hear me? Thank you, El Fuego. And we miss Baba. We do, man. We do. And appreciate all that he's done over the years. You two, man, you guys are awesome. I mean, it's just the founding members that go to Slamology, that hang out on the after party, that have been around in every Discord, have hung out with the kicker streams, 12 volt talk, everything else. You guys have been awesome since day one, but we will find them. We will find them, El Fuego. I hope we do. BT for the win. Turn down for what? I want to join the green team. So wait, if you want to join the green team, I put it in the video that I just uploaded. I need to, excuse me, put it in the description here. I don't think I have it in the description. Let me see. Okay, it's just being a little glitchy here. No, I do not have that in there. I will add that to every single live stream. Now, I know the easiest way is if you're on a computer, it should say join. It should say join, but if you're on your phone, it might not say that. It might not say that, and that's why I need to put that link in there. Kibo with more pennies. You guys love the pennies. I love pennies too. I still got them all. Oh no! No, that is where he's at. Once human skin drop in 5 minutes. I don't know what you're talking about, but I know the video game. He is in the Matrix. Bubba is in the Matrix. Oh, look at that. We got more coming in. CAE gifted 5 memberships to the viewers. Thank you, CAE.
Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You gotta look at it this way, okay? You just gotta look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
Bass hitting hard. Yeah, yeah. Turned down for what? Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Mole gifted memberships. Thank you, CAE. Sound like W over here. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. And man, the green team is growing. It is growing. It's infecting other channels. It is growing. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. And I know I seen your other message earlier. I was going to get to it. It's just so hard with all these comments here. I know your channel's growing really well, man. And I'm trying to get mine to go a little bit faster. It's just, I've kind of accepted it. It's like, I'm a live streamer and YouTube isn't 1,000% on just how it pushes it out. And the subscriber just does not reflect that. And it's so weird because it's like, I go to shows and it's like, I feel like I got 30,000 subscribers. It doesn't feel like 8. Like, you know, like just like Robert Hi-Fi Vega going somewhere. It's like people know him, you know, and it's like I feel like it's at like the same level with that, and it just doesn't show it. I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there. And I know once we hit 9K, we're giving stuff away. We hit 10K, we're giving stuff away slowly and surely. But you know, that's why I'm trying to do a little bit more on the video side to get a little bit more growth and you know, get more people to tune into the live streams, man. I try my best, and it's hard twice a week, man. It is, but we have really good turnouts on Kicking It with Andy. That's what matters the most, man. 2 past shows, 70 plus people tuning in the entire time. You guys rock, and appreciate you for that, man. And then, oh, we got more pennies. Garrick's looking forward to the Discord.
I got pennies.
Thank you, Garrick. Appreciate you, man. And I don't know why that just froze on me here. Sometimes it does it. That's so weird. Thank you so much, man. And I know the Discord's going to be fun tonight. I'm actually going to be trying to work on my buddy's car that I started to work on while I'm hanging out with you. I'll have my headset on, my phone out there, and working out in the garage or something like that, either way. And just be able to talk to you guys, hang out with you, get that one-on-one, and just, you know, chill. I'm excited too, man. Appreciate you, Garrick. And man, you're awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Niplash, man, people are really nice around here. LOL. Hope everyone is having a great evening. And that, and I don't know how we did it, but it's like we found the right people in the beginning, and the right people, good people, tend to attract other good people. And if you got a lot of bad people, it's going to attract other bad people. So I feel like that's why it has, I'm sure, something to do with me, but it's not all me, man. These guys have created something special, and welcome, man. Welcome. If you like car audio, you like bass, you happen to like Kicker, this is the place. Appreciate you, man. I did not rehearse that. That just came out like that. Appreciate you, Basshead 30. Appreciate you, man. Another one, man. 40 hertz track. Let me see. Let me see. Rebecca Black. I already rebased it. What are you talking about, Dubby? What are you talking about? It's clipped. It's clipped. Justin, thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well, man. I need to get you on here soon too. Man. I'm glad with how everything's going, and it's like I want to do videos, I want to do the live streams, I want to get people on, and it's just like working full-time job, and then the kids, and then we just got another cat. Yeah, we got another cat. It's kind of crazy, and just juggling it all, man. But appreciate that you tune in all the time like you do, man. I know you're busy, but I appreciate the thumbs up and your support. Absolutely real. Cisco Montano. Gotcha, buddy. Gotcha. Was that the battery? Did it have like a BMS in there? I'm kind of thinking about it now. Is this the boss? Is this not the Boss Sam channel? Am I in the wrong channel? Man, that's funny you mentioned that. I was just looking at all my old Amthino videos. A little cringe, but you know what? It was almost 4 years ago. And yes, we did the Boss Man, we did the Boss 1500, the Boss 200 watt. Boss. If you like Boss, you found the right place. Let's do it. I'm good for next Tuesday. Am I really that far behind? Sounds good, man. Let's do it. Donate a donut. All the lows. That's what's nice. At least the super chats, I literally have them all right here. Obviously, we get notified, but right there. So appreciate your guys' support and get to the questions because there's a lot here, and I don't want to skim over too many, but there's just so much. There's like 600 to 700 comments every show. That's hard to read, man. I can barely read as it is. All these Sony explodes just messing up my my vision, man. It's hard. Below 40 hertz is just wasted information anyway. And it kind of is, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Good old friend Aaron told me all about it, man. Love Aaron to death, man. He is the coolest guy. Kicker L712 should take more than 750, something like 1,000 to 1,200. And that's the thing, man. It's like, what can a woofer handle? And I feel like if you test it in the best environment, even the kicker subs can handle the RMS, but clamped, but because it's moving full stroke, because it's using all the cooling properties it can, because it's moving as far as it can. So you're creating a fan amount of air moving around the coil, cooling things down. Then it comes down to not even that, but like how much power the copper, the coil itself can handle the amount of current. Because there's times whenever people blow subs and it just snaps that wire. It's not even like the resin or anything else heating up because the heat can't dissipate fast enough because all the power coming through. It's just physical of what that wire itself can handle. And there's that. So I feel like, with the L7, you could make it take a 750 watt clamp sine wave, but it would have to be at like 20 hertz in a certain box or just around that, just so it's moving full stroke. Just like how this is over here. I can't send 750 watts to it, obviously, because it would just not move any further. And instead of clipping on the amplifier, it would physically clip the woofer, as in the woofer wouldn't go any further. So then you're applying power and it's not moving it. Like the sine wave's going up, okay? Speaker's going up with the sine wave and it stops and the sine wave's still going up. And so you're just adding more and more power to it and it's not moving because then the sine wave then comes down. Like it's just, it's physical clipping rather than the amplifier clipping. So that would be that problem. So it's really hard to get a subwoofer test of how much power it can do. Like I've messed around with it. Like that's why the kicker comp that we did, it took 250 watts continuously and it's rated for 150. But it was in the most ideal scenario. And I feel like every woofer can be put in that and then handle even more. But kicker, when they tell you, 750 RMS, that's because you put it on a 750 RMS amplifier so that it's really seeing 2 to 4 to 500 watts and it can handle that. That's the idea. So you match it with the right amplifier. So you can always put a bigger amplifier on it, but then you have to be careful because if you start playing a song that's, say, rebased and it's just constant frequency of bass, it's not getting a break. Compared to maybe, other kind of rap music that's not constant. It has a little bit of bass into it and then it stops, has a little bit of bass and it stops, is going to be the different amount of power handling that it can handle versus a straight test tone rebass kind of version of a song. It's just time and power. That's the thing, man. So it could handle more. It can. It's just in the right atmosphere. Anything can. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate you. Milestone follower. I can actually see that. Would you look at that? That's what that little flag is right there. Milestone follower on Facebook. Appreciate you, man. Justice said he got carded today. DIY at our own age. It's a compliment. It's it, man. Once they stop carding, it's bad. It's bad. Thank you, CM, for being here. Tuning in. Appreciate you guys. I know it's like, come and go. We got like few here, few there, few leave, few come back. And it's like, you guys just check in, tune in. I appreciate you for that. You don't have to do that, but I know you guys do it because you like it and you guys are awesome. Okay. I set my gains by smell. It works. It works. Sometimes I catch myself just setting gains by ear too. And it's not, if you do it enough, Sure, are you limiting yourself? Probably. Are you maybe clipping more than you thought? Probably. It could swing either way. That window of accuracy is obviously lowered. But if you do this stuff enough, it's like you can get close enough to what you're trying to do. And then again, if you have a amplifier that's big enough, then it's like, well, then it doesn't matter so much, because then it just comes down to how much power you send in the woofer rather than if it's dialed in correctly. I think that's something to take away too. Excuse me. Temp gauge for coils. Man, they actually do, shoot dog. They do. William, just let me know. We will pull the plug and let everybody know, man. They have them. I actually have one. It's been a prototype for a long time. Wireless, bass knob, NGA. That's Will here, and that's how I have it for Cookie Monster. And I know there's other ones out there, but it's accurate, it works, and it's in the bass knob, voltage, whole nine, and it's simple. It's not overcomplicated. I know some other ones are out there. You got a big screen and a bunch of stuff. Like, that's cool, but it's like too much. This is nice and easy. It's big readout. Like, I want to know how hot my coil's getting with the IR sensor. And Neela Williams does it too. And, you know, there's other ones out there. And that is the coolest thing about the day and age that we live in. It's like you don't have to go by smell. You can go by that, and you're not... You like, in the beginning, you're kind of like, well, how hot is too hot? And even if you had that gauge, how hot is too hot, you have to play it. You kind of like have to push it. Be like, okay, if I'm getting like 10 degrees hotter within like 12 seconds to 20 seconds, I'm playing too hard, because that's kind of how a coil, it will, you know, keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter. But how fast you get, that you can run into problems sooner than you would, even though it's at a higher temperature, if you went easy on it that entire time, because motors just get hot, the coils just get hot. It's just how much power you're sending so fast. And there's a lot of science stuff on that, man. I know DD's got an awesome article on, you know, different types of burnt coil, you know, of just like the slow blow and just all, you know, fast blow and all this different stuff. And they can almost tell in a way if you clipped it as well too. Like, man, mine was clipped and I got a hole in mine over here. It's just a hole in it. And maybe that's cheap power. I don't know, but they absolutely do, man. You need a gauge for everything, because if you can see what's happening before it happened, it saves you, man. You know, even the old temp sensor that I had and I used, like, it was like for an oven. It was so delayed, but it gave me an idea, but it was so delayed and it wasn't as perfect as this one. That's why I had no problem with Slamology this year. I'm like, going full tilt boogie. And, okay, 130 degrees. I'm clipping it. I know I'm clipping it, because it's gaining 5 degrees every couple seconds. So it's too much power, and we got to dial it down a notch or two. Yeah, look at that. There we go. There we go. There we go. Would you look at that? If you can find Audio Dynamics premium line of amplifier, they have that tech. Yes, 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 yes. I know it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff out there that people just don't know about, because it's not, you know, mainstream stuff yet. It's just not. It's almost underground stuff at this point. It needs to be more out there. It says 750 max. I feel it can handle more, but scared to throw it. Oh, the L7, it's 750 RMS, 1500 watts max, but I wouldn't even mess with the max rating. The max rating is there, honestly, for no reason, or maybe to match with other amplifiers that only list the max rating, and then you still can't go off that, because who knows if that rating is still right, even though it's just the max rating. I know Kicker's starting to do away with all max ratings and just put dynamic numbers on there rather than the max rating, because it almost doesn't exist. It exists in the sine wave itself, but it's not actual power. It's not. It's for that peak moment of the top of the sine wave compared to the bottom of the sine wave. That's your peak power. And is that even what it says? Like, it's not exactly that. It's like 0.707. I don't know. There's a bunch of different ways, man. It's above my head. I try to understand it, but just know that max power means nothing. The way that I kind of tell people what max power is, how much power can I handle at a burp for a few seconds in the right box at the right frequency, because I've done that with multiple Kicker drivers and they handle it, and it's like almost at that point, you know, it just seems like it kind of works. It's like quad box, 4,800 watts peak. Yeah, we're like 3,600. We could put a few more watts on there. That poor quad box, man. It's still kicking. Annie, my burning question, can I still run my AGM under the hood with a battery in the back? Well, if you're running the lithium in the back and you want to run your AGM under the hood, if you drive, let me try to explain it this way, because there's a lot of misconception out there with needing an isolator. I see it so many times. I can make a video every week and someone would still miss it. And they make sense in some cases. If the car sits for a very long time, sure, makes sense. You don't want those batteries completely balancing out. But the amount of transfer rate between your AGM under your hood and your lithium in your back, as long as it's like lithium iron phosphate, that transfer rate is going to be so slow. It's going to take days for it to balance out, and it's still going to be pretty close to what it needs to be. And same thing with like lead acid and like a 5S LTO. Like if you run the Titanate 5S series, and like the reserve would be perfect for lead acid because the resting is 12.5 with a 5 series Titan 8. And with the S5 Power series, the bigger one, less capacity, higher discharge, the 5,000 watt one is actually better for AGMs because the resting is 13 volts. And I actually got a mix matched in my car. I didn't know that. It's fine. I run it all the time. I have both of them connected to an AGM under the hood in the Pilot, but that's our family vehicle. It's started almost every day. They never balance out, even if it would. And I feel like it's really necessary if you have higher voltage LTO 6S, nickel magnesium, NMC, CMAX, or any kind of lithium ion that's like a 3.74 series cell, like a 15, 16 volt system, then you need it. then you need it, or you need like a split system, and it gets kind of crazy with all that stuff. But do you need an isolator with your AGM? And if you got lithium iron phosphate, like a JP40, a Cyber 12K, or, they got new JP45s coming out. I need to test one. That kind of stuff, I wouldn't even worry about it. If you drive the car at least once a week, don't worry about it, because it's, again, that transfer rate. It's not going to kill that battery. It's not. I try not to get too into it because it gets really thick with batteries, man. It does. And the more I do this stuff, I'm like, why did I even bother? Why did I even bother? I'm running 6S with an AGM under the hood, and even then it just pulls down to like 13.3. It's a brand new AGM under the hood, and 6S that rests at 13.8. So it's only going from 13.8 to 13.5, or give or take 13.3. And those are good down to like 10 volts, really. 1.5 volts per cell times 6, 12 volts, whatever, give or take. And not even 10 volts. So all you're having to do if you didn't have the isolator is sit there and let your batteries charge for a minute. That's it. You're just going to have, batteries that need charged a little bit. And with LTO, you have 20 to 30,000 cycles depending on the LTO. So compared to lithium iron phosphate, AGM, lead acid, which is like 500 to 3,000 cycles. It's the truth. Thank you, Garrick. Appreciate you, man. I am so any info. Gotta wait till Tuesday, Bobby. You gotta wait for Tuesday. Question, Andy, do you use any of the Nilo media temp sensors? Have you seen one in real world, etc.? I actually did. I should have let me know. I would have pulled up the video. I had him do a little walk around of a system at Mecca because he actually came out to Pittsburgh, and he was showing off. I didn't know he was that close. He lives in Ohio, and showing me all his stuff. It's all on the iPad, and you can see like voltages and temperatures, like 5 million different things. It's really crazy stuff. No, I do not have anything yet, but it would be cool to just try different stuff, man. I with Kicker, it's like I understand, and like certain things, it's like yes, that's the main stuff, but I like trying other things too because I might have use for that for like in the studio here to measure all kinds of stuff like the battery temperature, the temperature of the power supplies, the temperature of the resistors for the amp dyno. It would make sense for something like that over there where you want just multiple things being tested at the same time and you got a whole screen to do it with. That makes sense. Wheezy dual purpose. Okay, Wheezy dual purpose 60 amp hour with BMS built in. Yeah, no bueno. No bueno, senor. Cut off 12 volt max C, 60 amp. Yeah, wow, 60 amp peak. Discharge, 250 amp C discharge. Okay, so 250 amp C discharge. 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 250 250 amp max cranking, I would assume, and 60 amp hour with built-in BMS, 60 amp peak discharge C. Either way, it's not, you don't want to use anything with the BMS because you could hit that peak. Now, if you don't have a system, say you have a 500 watt amplifier in the back of your car and you want to run that battery, go ahead. It works because you're never going to hit what that BMS can do. That's the thing. It's like being stuck with a fuse size you can't replace because it's built into the battery. And that's the problem, because that fuse blows, you got no voltage. That BMS triggers, you got no voltage. You could run into serious problems with your amplifier, still thinking there's power there, and it's like brick wall. That's the problem. So thank you, Real Cisco. I'm glad you answered what type of battery it is. I'm glad we figured that out, because you don't want to waste your money on batteries. They are so expensive. I spent like $2,000 in the past 365 days on batteries. You don't want to waste $1 on it. You don't. And I would just, if you already got an AGM, just throw the AGM back there, or maybe grab a lithium iron phosphate, a JP40. I did a review on that, or not JP40. I didn't do a review on that, but I got those. Those are coming out, JP45s. The Down for Sound, JY. Oh my God. There's so many different batteries, like JP40 and JY-HP40. God, goodness gracious, I can't. You could go with something like that, but I mean, just if you're gonna do that, just I'd go with the AGM. Keep it simple. All right, yeah, you're late. You're late, Bad Customs. You know what? I forgot to show those pictures. I got to show them off before we end the show here. Okay, so this was from Sean. We got Sean's. That was the the skeleton. We got that, the skeleton. And this one here is from Randy G. I do want to show this here. Can I make this all big now? We don't need comments here. Oh, I forgot to move my thing, but here we go. Randy G system. Looks like, I want to say 12s. Those might be 12 L7Xs. 3 of them. Looks like in a 6-order design. And a 153 he's doing on them. Okay, there's Cody's. Where's the video? Here it is. Here it's playing. He's got the Warhorse towel. Should be able to hear that. There we go. Just look at that. That's the coolest thing, to be able to float a towel. It's literally the coolest thing. And that's the perfect towel to do it with, man. That is literally the perfect towel to do it with. 153, not too shabby, man. Not too shabby. And thank you for sending that in, man. I appreciate you guys for sending in these photos. And we got Cody's here, man. He has really upgraded. When I first met him, he had 8-inch OEM. I think they were Sony's or something like that, but like for a stock subwoofer in a car, he had 8 of them in a box similar to the size. Now he has upgraded. Looks like he's got 2, I don't even know, just 2K, 3K amplifiers, and on a single 12 now. This thing is awesome. Let's take a look at it. I think this is still all big. Yeah, it's still all big. That's not going to work. That's pretty, man. That is pretty. I like the lights in there. Okay, so it's all Cobalt. I think Cobalt. Oh, you got Cody on there. It's Cobalt amplifier. Then you got Cody on the back. That is awesome, man. Just look at that. Yeah, Cobalt Orion amplifier. I think that's a 4K maybe. Looks like a size of a 4K at least. Thing is huge. And then, okay, he's got a video here. Sorry if the music swears, fellas. Sorry. And we got 46 of you guys in here. Love ya. Still, single 12. You know, and people do not understand how hard, especially with the door wide open there, how hard it is to float anything. It is not easy. You know, and I'm kind of upset, you know, like Cookie Monster doesn't float the hair like it used to, but it plays so much better. Like, it actually sounds like a stereo system, not an air pressurizer fan. That's what it was before. It was just the whole freaking time, and it was great. Let me tell you, it was great. just lifted that hair right up, just stood right up. It was great. Now it's like just normal, you know? It's normal. That still float stuff, but not as easily. And that's the thing where it's like you're skewing away from windy to still wasted information and kind of windy, but you know, just whatever. And then you go farther up and then it becomes punchy, and then it becomes pain. Becomes pain. And then we got one more system here. This is from Real Cisco. Again, appreciate you for all your questions tonight, man. Okay, so you got the UC31 back there, and it looks like a Solo X12. That's a 2003 version. I love the enclosure. That is beautiful, man. That's funny. I didn't put 2 and 2 together, man. Awesome. Yeah, I would just run. I mean, you got the UC31 back there. I think that's going to do a lot. But again, it's a capacitor, only has so much capacity, and then you'll run out, and then that's it. So, yeah, you definitely want to put an AGM back there at the minimum just to keep that amplifier happy. But I love that you're rocking the old school Solo X, man. Keep it going. Would you just look at that? We got 40, 80 y'all in here tonight. Love ya. I don't know where you came from. Probably the Discord. It came from the Discord. Cornut. Anthony Adams. I don't know if you're still here. I'm so behind on the comments. Appreciate you tuning in on Facebook. Man, you guys are awesome. Appreciate you, Jose. Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. Once human drops in 5 minutes. And, oh, we got Trap House in here. I was like, there's no way that was from Garrick with a $5 super chat. Would you look at that?
Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You got to look at it this way, okay? You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
Appreciate you, man. And Andy, I finally finished my build and noticed some draining from the 48 amp hour Planano bank. You have you measured how much Cookie Monster needs? Just sitting. So with the Planano banks leaking, or draining from the 40, okay, draining from the 45 amp hour bank, have you measured how much Cookie Monster needs? Just sitting. So you mean draining from front battery to rear battery? Yeah, with the Plananos, those are 2.4 volts per cell, and I'm sure you got 6 of them. So your resting voltage is technically 14.4? Yeah, your resting voltage for those are 14.4. And instead of 13.8 that I'm using in Kayla's car with a 2.3 reserve cells. But still, you know, you're going to have some pull on that from an AGM going from 14.4 down to 13.3, 13.2 with an AGM, you know, without the isolator. If you let it sit for a while, you will notice, you know, like after a week, 2 weeks, you start the car, that thing just, like your alternators, it's working, you know, because the battery's got the set point at 14.8, 15, 15.2, whatever you got it at. And it's that difference between 15 volts to where it's starting at, which is probably around the resting voltage of the AGM, maybe a little bit higher, like 13.4. So you see some charging. It's not full field. You know, you really don't get full field until you start pulling more than what the batteries can do, and your voltage starts to drop. And that's the thing where even if you have a 300 amp alternator, you're not getting all 300 amps out of it unless you're at like 10 volts. You're pulling like 5K out of the back end, and your batteries aren't big enough. Then it'll probably do 300 amps, but it's going to be dropping some voltage. So that's the thing too, with just how batteries work. So, you know, the drainage, the charging, it's all kind of goes hand in hand, but still, I don't know exactly with that. I'm trying to answer that the best way I can, but either way, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, and I'm glad you finished the build. And yeah, Cookie Monster, now that I put the super capacitor battery, the SB Super Bank from excess power under the hood, it's not a battery. As soon as you disconnect it from a battery, it's like the UC31, it just dies. So there is no balancing transfer. You know, because whenever I had the AGM under the hood, I did have an isolator at some point, and then I was like, well, I don't even need this thing. I'm okay. You know, I'm driving the car enough. And you see a little bit, you know, again, it's not terrible with the lithium iron phosphate. With the Plananos, you're going to see some draw, because those are going to want to sit higher. They're going to want to sit at 14.4. You know, that's the thing. They are really a 14-volt battery, and that's how XS lists them. That's how other places list them when you buy the 6S Plananos, LTO, Yinlong, all that stuff. Thank you, Trappy. Appreciate you, sir. Man, I'm so far behind on the comments. We're already at an hour and 15 minutes. You guys are falling asleep on me. We got to end it. Stuart, thanks for tuning in. Sup, Annie and the green team? All the right people make the perfect chemistry, ain't that? That's perfect. That's perfect. Since we're talking about batteries and all. Budget Audio with Jay. Hey, it's another day. Always blessed to be here. 100% healthy. Glad you're here, man. Miss you. I need to catch up on your content, man. I've been slacking. Not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I know Justin. I watched Justin's the other day with the brand new DBZ. I think it was the DBZ from Down for Sound's subwoofer, man. I was looking at it. I'm waiting for Walmart build part 2. You know what? I need to do. Yeah. We need to do that again. I want to do it with a kicker inspired thing, because they have the down firing kicker comp enclosure. I mean, it's $200, and then you buy like an amplifier for $50. We can still fit under that $250 budget. I mean, I'm sure we could maybe $300 ultimate Walmart build. 350. I can't. I mean, if you want more bass, I mean, going with all that stuff to just get bass output is probably not the best idea. You know, because then you can build a box, you can make it louder, you can get, you know, something cheaper on somewhere else from Woody or, you know, Alibaba. Who knows? I mean, you might as well at that point. What would be a good size AGM battery to add on a CX 1800.1? I would at least minimum go with a Group 31. You know, even if you would add 10 Group 31s, the problem lies in your voltage is still, it's not that it's going to stay at 14 volts. As soon as you go what that alternator can do, and then not even before that alternator can probably do more, you're going to start dropping down to 13.3 of whatever that AGM is. Even if you got a 400 amp alternator, just because it's not going to give you all 400 amps at 13 volts right away. It's just not. It's going to drop. It's going to give you like 150, 200, 250, and then it's going to start to drop to 13, and then if you start dropping down to like, you know, 12.5, then it's going to be giving even more, and there's a lot that goes behind that. But the point, what I'm trying to say is, whenever you have the voltage drop to that, it's not going to go any, you know, higher than that. So you can have 10 AGMs and you still might be sitting at 13 volts compared to having 3 or 4 AGMs sitting at 12.9. You know, it's kind of diminishing return. So I would at least go with one Group 31 battery AGM if you're going to put it, and it's going to be in the back of the car, just so that you have all the power going right from that amplifier coming from that battery that's 2 feet away, and then you can worry about the rest, you know? Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate you, man. Man, I am slacking. That's the thing. I was like, I got no topic tonight because I want to talk about SEMA, but you guys got me on a roll. You know, remember, kicker floats watermelon. If you didn't see my short, the L7X, in fact, did not float a watermelon. Boss floats child support checks. Oh my, that is funny. That is funny. Yep, thanks for tuning in, man. I hope you're doing well, man. I'm just glad you're tuning in. Duty cycle changes all power ratings. Duty cycle's a thing, man, and that's just with like how the amplifier, you know, makes the power, pulse width modulation, duty cycle. It's kind of all the different stuff, but the duty cycle with the alternator, you know, just how the power is generated. It gets in, like, you're just literally into physics and science and chemistry, and it's all in one, and it's a really interesting topic to learn, and I'm just at the tip of the iceberg with this stuff, and there's a lot to it, man. And yeah, you're not always getting what the alternator says. Trust me, man. It's like I go out there with a clamp and I'm like, really? That's it? I know it could do more, but with the power supply in here, I'll see my voltage still drop like half a volt, and my power supplies are not going full tilt boogie, Kip. They're just not. You know, they're giving like 60 out of the 100, and I got 3 of them, and it's like, wait, what's going on here? Well, not that exact scenario, but you get what I'm saying, 60%. I'm like, wait, what? Oh, yeah, you got to be a lot lower voltage or just totally draining those batteries for those power supplies to give you all that power, the alternator to give you all that power. I know, it is nice to see Mr. Kip Litzy. So if you have one of these tech temp monitors. What is the temp that is normal and what temp do you not want to reach? That's the thing where I tried to cover a little bit earlier with you don't know. And I know with like high temp coils, L7X, Sundowns, EV6, all that big stuff with the big like high temp resin, it's a different game compared to the L7S or the Comp or any other kicker driver where it's not super high temp. It is high temp, but it's not super high temp like that. And then the old school Solo X is like, I swear it's paper thin resin. I get that thing 130 degrees and it's starting to sweat. And everyone else got theirs up to 250, almost 300 degrees, sometimes 400. And I mean, technically it should be able to handle like 600, but you know, just how it measures the heat and what you're measuring at, and the woofer's moving, and it's just not 100% accurate. But there is no number per se. I would say it's just there is, but there isn't. It just comes down to a multiple of things. When you get one of those to be able to read it, play your system like how you normally do. Look at that temperature. If it's really cold out, you'll notice it start to like kind of creep up, and then you'll get to like a running temperature where you're just kind of giving it the beans. You're playing it loud, but not as loud as it can be, and you still start to creep up on temperature because eventually it's just the heat can't dissipate all the time. It's slowly doing it. The motor's working, how it's cooling down the subwoofer normally. But, it's just eventually it just can't. You're just going to keep going to a point where you have it at that certain level. And other levels, you could just go all day and it's just going to go up and down, up and down, up and down, stay at a certain level. That's where you need to have it. And that's really hard to just say what number that is. It all depends what you got, man. Thank you, Shoot Dog. Appreciate you guys. So glad Kip's in here. So glad. Yeah, that's watching Carlos's single subtest shows you a lot. Yeah, and it shows you a little bit of a lot just because that it'll kind of show you what the coil can handle instantaneously power wise, because even though that the resin probably didn't even melt off on some of those that blew, the wire itself couldn't handle that current. It's just like the speaker wire or whatever. It's just really thin copper or aluminum wire that they use for that. And it's just like your power wire for your car. You can't have it too long with too small of a gauge other than melting. This is just a snap. And that's kind of what happens in those scenarios, because he's not just sitting there playing a test tone for a minute and a half, 2 minutes. It's a few seconds, and you can get away with a lot more. But again, it's still just, that's physics, man. You're getting into physics on that. I need to end the stream, but it's so good. It's a good stream. So hot they pop. Exactly. Oh, would you look at that? Thank you for the membership. Oh, he got a gifted membership. Appreciate you, Randy G. And went to the perfect person tonight. Would you look at that? Real KSI. Yap Master 3000. Yapping to the same 35 people every Friday. Let's get it. You know what? I seen your comment the other day. There was that and another guy on there. And they were talking like back and forth about stuff. And I was like, man, you know what? I understand certain people's opinions on things. But it's like, man, if I would do that, I can't do that. And other people, they can do it, and that's totally fine. But whenever it comes down to car audio and the love what we do here, it's easy to get into the negativity stuff. It is so easy to get into it. If you look into psychology and just how our minds work with negativity, we are attracted to it. So kudos to you, man, but never going to stop doing what I'm doing. Appreciate you tuning in. Would you look at that? I see you, man. I look at comments. I might not answer to every single one, but I see stuff, man. That's just the whole thing with being a YouTuber, man. You see a lot, and sometimes, hey, they come to your door knocking for candy. Thank you, Bastronics. Appreciate you. You gotta love the lights. Oh, yeah. See, I'm so far behind on that, but we're catching up. Dave Frost, what kind of cheap amp would I get for a Rockford 15 P3? I would go, I think that's around, 600 RMS for the P3. I mean, you can go with a Prime. I think they got the 500 or the 1000 if you want to stick with the Rockford Fosgate. I mean, if you're going kicker, like a CX 800.1, there's a few different options. I would just go with anything from 600 to 800 RMS. And at 1 ohm or 2 ohm, depending if you got a dual 4 or dual 2. If you got a dual 4, grab something that's 2 ohm stable. If you got a dual 2, grab something that's 1 ohm stable and around that power handling. All right, so I'm not that far behind. I'm caught up. Okay. No, just sitting off. How much does a cookie... How much does Cookie Monster consume? Oh, power. Right now, it's not bad because I have two of the Warhorse WXA 3600.1s at 2 ohms each. Each one on whenever I'm metering and I'm doing the 150, it's 1300 watts clamped on each amplifier. So 2300 watts, and it's around 85% efficient. I haven't actually tested that amplifier. I should. I don't know if my amp dyno can survive it on the resistive load side, but still would be fun to test. But really, it's like pulling maybe 300 amps, you know, give or take, 250, 300 amps, 320 amp alternator, 2 JY HP40s, and that super bank under the hood. I don't really drop below 13.4, and that's like all day at Slamology, just going full tilt boogie. I don't see 12s, you know, and that's with lithium iron phosphate because I'm running it at like optimal, just with what I have charging. I could play all day. Even if my subwoofer couldn't handle it, I could play all day. And I'm ready for the L7X18 so that I can grab the dual 1 and run each Warhorse at 1 ohm, see double the power, and I should maybe gain around 1 to 2 dBs, but it's just going to be able to handle that power that I'm giving it. That's the difference. It's going to be able to handle that power that I'm giving it. The old school Solo X, if, you know, I got it dialed down just a little bit, you know, not much, but still, I got to be careful with it. With the L7X, it's stupid. It's stupid, man. My 12 is handling better than my Solo X18. It is. And that's just, what, 2003 to 2022? Well, not, I would say 2020, 2021, 22, 23. So at least 20 years of, you know, research and development. They've come a long way. And, okay, cool. Basehead Fanatic, thank you for tuning in and joining the live. Can't wait to see y'all at Ruckus tomorrow. Hey, you know, for the guys that are at Ruckus, enjoy the show. I seen Joby just showed up there tonight, and enjoy your time. I will go to Ruckus one of these times. I think it's North Carolina. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you for commenting. And for the same 35 people that are watching, man, you guys are crazy. Let me tell you. I know y'all are crazy. And it's more than 35, actually. I see on with like how we do the subwoofer flex, it actually shows me every single person that has ever watched a live stream, and it's like a long list. It's like 150, 200 people. Easy. I haven't even went over it within the past 2 weeks because it just kind of catches every single name that just happened to tune in for more than 2 minutes. And I'm happy to do it, man. You guys make the show. You really do. And I appreciate you so much for tuning in. And don't know what you're talking about? Maybe Kip can fill you in on that one. The LX amp. Never heard of her. Thank you for tuning in, SJC. So should I be good with 2 AGM XS batteries? I mean, you know, I ran 2 XS AGM batteries for the longest time. Group 31, Group 34, other Group 31 batteries, and they work. They definitely do. It'll keep your amplifier from seeing 10, 11 volts within most cases. You know, it's going to keep you where you need to be, and I can't stress it enough. The battery, it's in the back of the car. All right, cool. I'm going to let you guys go. There's only 22 people here. We went an hour and a half. I ran everybody out of here. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you guys tune in to Kicker Unmasked on Tuesday. They're going to be talking about all the Kicker products, and of course, we're going to have the after show. I'll see you guys next time, Tuesday. I'm out of juice. And as always, stay living loud. I love you guys.
Okay. So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud.
check them out. Appreciate you guys for watching tonight. Sorry about that idiot that came in here earlier. I don't know, man. You know, that's what happens in any hobby. Caught me off guard. Sorry, guys. Good question, Wade.
Livin Loud with Andy.
You know, I don't know, because Donnie Babb was in Vegas. He was on the plane talking about big plans. What was that? Something did something. And I hope it's not in Vegas. I hope it's not in Vegas. Corn Roll donated a $4 super chat. Back to back. Appreciate you, Corn Roll. And thank you guys so much. And I will see you on the after party. Stay living loud and dance. Dance.